Now, Jonoti, some nature, we have a lot of things that we learn. And if we're able to learn all these things, they can be better inspiration for us as people. Now, for instance, we can take example of birds. Now, birds, they do not have hands just like us people. But even without hands, that is not a limitation for them to fail to build a place to stay, to fail to build a place to lay their eggs, to fail to build a place where their young ones would stay. Now, the birds, they do not have hands. They have wings. And their wings, they are useless in terms of carrying anything. Even the body mass may be big, but it cannot be able to carry even a small piece of twig to build a nest. But however, the birds, they realized, if my mouth is able to pick food and take it from one place to the other, it can also be able to pick twigs from the ground and take it up into the trees. And now I want to believe, yes, the birds were able to pick twigs and grass to build a nest. And I want to believe the next challenge which came to them was, how can I be able to intertwine the pieces of grass into a nest? That, for me, I believe it was a challenge for them. But the birds, they realized, if it can be able to pick food and put it into the mouth of a young one, it can make use also of this same mouth to intertwine and to build a house. Now, so what is it that we can learn from these birds? The birds, they have limitations, just as we people. But because the birds have limitations, it does not have hands like us people, but it is able to build a house. So it may be just like us as people. We may have limited financial resources to start a certain project, but with those limited resources, we are able and we can try to start small and go bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes we may not have all the needed equipment, but with the few equipment that we have, even it be primitive equipment, we may have to make use of it to build anything that we may wish to work on. Not only that, it's also hard work that it takes for a bird to build its nest. Imagine how many times the bird has to fly from one place to the other, bringing pieces of grass time after time. It requires hard work for a bird to build a house. And it also requires for us as people to be hard workers so that we may be able to build greater things in our lives. Not only that it requires hard work, but it also requires sometimes to take risk. Imagine how many times the bird flies from one tree to the other. A lot of people, they'll be trying to catch the birds. Some other bigger animals, they'll be trying to catch the birds. But even though if it's a risk, the bird still goes up and down, bringing the grasses, the twigs to build its nest. So we as people, we may have limitations to do whatever we want to do. It may be financial, it may be capital, it may be equipment, it may be our backgrounds from where we come from. But all those things should not stop us from doing whatever we want. So from nature, we can learn from birds, we can learn from eagles, we can learn from different animals. And all these things should inspire us to fight and to do better in life. Thank you.